Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode. This is episode number 70, and we started today's episode with Tom Mikel coming to us and saying we spoke earlier about his wage, but nothing has changed. And as you can see, 2 days after that player conversation, the board came to us and decided to transfer list our backup goalkeeper. So how about this? In the last episode, as you guys know, Cesar Valente handed in a transfer request, and now our backup goalkeeper who played in the last game, and absence of Valente, has now also been put on the transfer list. So right now things are falling apart with Hamburg. It's an absolute shambles at the Volkspark Stadion, and we need to get it sorted sooner rather than later. We put in a bit of Chelsea's Mahmoud Dahoud as well of £8 million. His contract is up come the end of the year. As we close out the summer transfer window, I would love to bring him to the club as a backup midfielder and a potential long-term replacement for our skipper Lewis Holtby. And as you can see, Chelsea said that deal was totally fine. So it's going to be £5 million less than his valuation, and this could be a really good deal for us on 60 grand a week because he's 80 overall. He's only, I think it was 22 years old. He's an awesome midfielder, German as well. I do believe before he joined Chelsea in the game, he played for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Am I right? Is that the club he came from? Not entirely sure, but he's 22 years old, 80 overall, £13 million valuation. He would be a fantastic signing for us. He declined his first contract, but he accepted his second one. So Mahmoud Dahoud comes in on deadline day, and we will certainly take this deal because, again, for £8 million, £5 million less than his valuation, that is a really good deal. And I really do believe that he is going to help our side, coming off the bench, playing in games in midweek as well, and in cup games, and possibly some European games as well. I think he'll be a really smart signing. 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills, some good physicals, technically very good as well, and I'm really happy with that signing. And it looks like he could become our final signing of the summer transfer window because this was happening on transfer deadline day, and he was really my only target of the transfer window after we'd made those two signings. And as you can see, Lee Lucas went to Valencia, 87 overall, glitched or what, the Swansea player, 26 years old now, crazy. And Tom Mikel once again had a bid rejected despite being on the transfer list. We're not going to sell our backup goalkeeper, and Borussia Mönchengladbach will have to look elsewhere. So the clock ran out on transfer deadline day. There was only an hour to go, and we'd already completed our deals. We've signed our players for the new season. We spent around £79 million in total, and we sold quite a few of our players as well, most notably Danny Carvajal. And of course, with the players we signed, I have to say I'm very happy with it because the biggest news of the transfer window was the fact that we kept hold of Cesar Valente. That's right, the clock ran down, transfer deadline day ended, and Cesar Valente stays. He stays here at Hamburg. We did not sell him. I rejected all offers. I decided to disallow transfer bids for him. I didn't change it. I played hardball with Valente. We dropped him in the last game against Hertha Berlin. I've put my foot down and I've said no. Just because you want to leave doesn't mean it's going to happen. Cesar Valente, 20 years old, whether he likes it or not, he's staying here at the Volkspark Stadion. And what I'm going to do as well is offer him a contract, see what he says, and if he turns it down, then he's going to sit in the reserves. It's as simple as that. He'll sit in the reserves. We'll play Tom Mikel, our 77 overall backup goalkeeper, because we kept him as well. It's up to him now. It's up to him what he wants to do. I'm going to give him a wage increase. You'll see the contract just moments time. He's going to go up to £90,000 a week, a £70,000 a week increase. If he wants to stay, he knows where his heart is. He knows where he's loved. He can stay at the Volkspark Stadion. Otherwise, forget about it. Sit in the reserves until your contract runs down. You can leave on a free. I'm not giving in to his demands. I'm playing hardball. I'm not accepting that my youth team goalkeeper that I trained since day one, that I sold Rene Adler for and threw him in the first team. I trusted him. I put my faith in him. I took the Brazil job purely for him. I'm not accepting that he just wants to leave, and I'm just going to let him leave. It's not going to happen. Not on my watch. So following transfer deadline day, you can see the squad report right here, how the team is currently looking with the players right now, and the league table as well after 2 games. We are in 11th place with 2 draws, 0 wins from our first games. Very disappointing indeed. You'll also see our Champions League group that we've been drawn in as well. We've got CSKA Moscow, Sevilla, and it's the Deutsche Pokal fixtures to come first. We've got Wolfsburg away in round 2 of Deutsche Pokal. For the Champions League group stage, we've got CSKA Moscow, Sevilla, and FC Basel. So the Russian side, the Swiss side, and also the Spanish side as well. We're taking on those three over 6 games. We'll have to wait and see whether we can qualify for the knockout stages. But this is the Valente contract then. As you can see, I'm giving him a 2-year extension on his deal. He's got just under 3 years left in his deal right now. But I'm going to give him the extra 70 grand a week, crucial first team player status. He knows where he's loved. He knows where is best for him. And I'm just going to sit there and say it. I'm going to offer him contracts. I'm going to throw contracts at him. If he declines them, well, you know, that's up to him. Really, that's up to him. But I put him in the first team for this game against Hoffenheim, making a statement saying, we're going to put you back in this back in the team for this game alone and see what you can do. See whether you get the feel back, if you will, for keeping guard here in goal for Hamburg. And we shall have to wait and see. All eyes on Cesar Valente for his first appearance since he handed in that transfer request. How would he do? But if he doesn't accept the contract, he's going back down to the reserves. But still, following the introductions here, the first chance of the game would fall in the 27th minute as Yannick Gerhardt got on the ball and found Danilo down the right hand side. One of our new signings takes it round Kim Jin-soo and gets himself inside, rolls it through back towards Yannick Gerhardt. He found Angel Correa, who went for goal, and the Argentine scores his second goal in 2 games. And after 2 draws in our opening 2 Bundesliga games, what a fantastic start to this game, because in the opening half an hour, with the first chance of the game, we opened the scoring, going down the right hand side, Gerhardt to Danilo, back towards Yannick Gerhardt after he took it round the left back, and Gerhardt gave it to Correa, and Correa simply couldn't miss as he puts it into the top corner and makes it Hamburg 1, Hoffenheim 0. So the perfect start to this game, Correa with the opening goal, and 5 minutes before the break here, Cesar Valente's on the ball and dribbles out of his box. He gives it to Leroy Sané here down the right hand side, who goes on a storming run from inside his own half, keeps on going, has the pace on all the Hoffenheim players, cuts past Fabian Schär and goes for goal. It's a great save by Prestaldo, one of the Brazilian goalkeepers that was part of my World Cup squad, and he turns the shot behind for a throw. So still 1-0 to Hamburg. Another chance here a couple minutes later, Danilo's header from his corner goes just over the bar as he goes in search of his first goal for the club with the Brazilian. Couldn't hit the target and it was still 1-0. And from the goal kick, Prestal launches it long. Saga wins the header, but only as far as Maximilian Meyer. Meyer gives it towards Sané here down the right hand side. We're having loads of joy down this right hand side. Sané takes it round his man, gets himself inside the area, finds Maximilian Meyer, who puts it in at the near post, and just before the break, on the stroke of the half-time mark, Maximilian Meyer gets his second in 2 and makes it Hamburg 2, Hoffenheim 0. So 2 goals up going into the break, but of course, this is exactly the same as the Hertha Berlin game. We scored 2 goals in the first half, the same goal scorers as well, Maximilian Meyer and Angel Correa. So I thought to myself, we can't really be too confident, because we all know what happened in that game against Hertha Berlin, as Hertha battled back from 2 goals down to draw the game 2-2. But in the second half here, how about this? 3 minutes after the restart, Hoffenheim had a fantastic chance to get themselves back in the game, but Cesar Valente, back in the team, made an incredible save, and then the follow-up shot was cleared off the line by one of our new signings, Danilo, as the Brazilian boys linked up well on defense there and kept us 2 goals up. So a big save by Cesar Valente, and then Danilo gets the following shot off the line and keeps the score at 2-0. So Valente back in the team, making a big save, and that's why he's so important to this club. So still Hamburg 2, Hoffenheim 0. Correa was then denied by a great save by Gabi Prestal, and it was still 2-0 to Hamburg. But just before the hour mark here, Royce goes down the left-hand side. One of our new signings, roulettes round his man, gives it to Correa down his left flank, cuts past Schubert once again with the Balassi flick, gets himself inside, and how about this for a goal from Angel Correa? He didn't score in the first game, but he's now got 3 goals in 2, cuts inside with a Balassi flick with the inside the right boot, curls it perfectly into the top corner. What a goal by Angel Correa, and he's already got 3 goals in the Bundesliga, as he'll be going in search of winning the Bundesliga top scorer for 3 successive years. Golden boot, why don't you just say golden boot? But still 3-0 to Hamburg. Correa scores once again, and 10 minutes later, another good chance for Hamburg here as Royce finds Correa, who gets past Schubert once again, having a nightmare game for Hoffenheim. He rolls off towards Leroy Sané after the roulette, and Leroy Sané puts the cherry on the icing on the cake with a lovely finish into the back of the net and makes it Hamburg 4, Hoffenheim 0. So a brilliant little roulette from Correa after the Burb spin. Schubert and Schell having a terrible game for Hoffenheim at the back. Lovely little free ball towards Leroy Sané as well, arriving late at the far post, and Leroy Sané takes his time, puts it into the top corner, and gets his first goal of the season. So final score at the Volkspark Stadion, Hamburg 4, Hoffenheim 0, our first win of the new season. And for Cesar Valente applauding the fans at the end of 90 minutes, I think he knows where his heart belongs. I think he he knows where he needs to stay. It's a big win for us, a clean sheet as well. Delighted to return to one of those, and a really convincing and solid win for our first of the season. So Hamburg 4, Hoffenheim 0, man of the match to Correa for 2 goals and an assist as well. Our first 3 points of the year, delighted with that. And following that, Mikel came to us, said he wasn't happy with his role at the club, but as you can see, following this, some training here as well, more for Valente, Werner and Luan as well. But Mikel may not be happy with his role at the club, but it's not going to change because Cesar Valente accepts his contract, an extra 70 grand a week, and Valente has signed. He's got a contract extension, he's got a wage increase. He threw his toys out of the pram to get this, but Cesar Valente, he knows now. He was wrong. He handed that transfer request, but he's a young boy, he's 20 years old. We all make mistakes, but Valente knows now. It's time to stay at Hamburg. It's time to put that mini saga behind us. He's staying as our number one, and Valente has got his morale back to happy. He's in excellent form. Valente stays and will resume his career as a Hamburg player. So delighted with that, and it was a little bit of a mini saga which could have spiraled out of control, but fortunately for us, we put a stop to it before it got too big. And Valente, with that contract extension, an extra 70 grand a week, he deserves it really, and he'll be staying as a Hamburg player. So crisis averted, Valente stays, we get our first win, and hopefully things can get back on track and we can finally start the season off right. But that is going to today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode, then please do leave a like. Likes much appreciated, and it really helps the channel grow as well. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode very soon.